Hey there, and welcome to another lunar table match on the highway to the Threemus Zone tournament. My name is Sheep Launcher. I'm here in the commentary booth with Bad Karma, and we have a race tonight between Moonblazewolf and Sylverfyre. Now, Bad Karma, Moonblazewolf entered this tournament as one of the favorites to advance in the lunar table. He started off 0-2, and it's not going to get any easier for him tonight going up against Sylverfyre.
Yeah, both the runners are very well respected here in the community. Sylverfyre took a loss the other night against Flurry. Moonblazewolf, he's taken a loss also against Flurry and Possum Morpheus, hoping to bounce back here. Both runners actually came in as direct advances from the group stage. Both went 3-0. So hopefully we can get another fantastic match out of them.
And you have to figure that Moonblazewolf considers this a must-win. At 0-2, only the top 16 advance. 3-3 might be able to get you there, but you have to figure that he's looking at each match as a must-win from here on out.
Yeah, it would be really hard to go with a straight, 4-0 sweep, I think, with the quality of runners we have in the table across the board. But if there is a runner that can do it, I'm sure Moonblazewolf could. But on the flip side, Sylverfyre is not a joke. They have been playing excellent lately, and the one loss just came from Flurry, and really it just came down to a little bit of RNG.
Yeah, we've both seen Sylverfyre a bunch of times, including a couple times here in the tournament. Sylverfyre is a very fundamentally sound runner. They know how to get themselves out of danger, and it's just a lot of fun watching them race, and this should be a great race tonight.
And speaking of the race, we got a Sid start, and these objectives are. I believe this is the first time I've had a match with the complete the Giant of Babel as an objective. The crowd favorite of defeating the King of Town of Monsters, and plenty of rude fights can be waiting for them at the Leviathan spot, and rescue the hostage on Mount Hobbs, and as always, forge the Excalibur with the Adamant.
You only have to do 3 of those objectives, of course, but Sid, with the start, again, he's a great character early game. Starts off at level 20, has a decent weapon to start with several other weapons to upgrade him. That should be available to them right off the bat. And he can transition into a great late game character. You get a Dwarf Axe on him, you get a Curse String on him. You can tank his agility and make him a terrific anchor, and he works great as a chemist in the Z fight.
Yeah, I like taking a Sid early on. I struggle in the early game when I do table races, so having a Sid is definitely a crutch that I lean on heavily. I also would like to see, I know the runners would like to see Atella to get that D machine grind going later. I'm hoping for a little bit more rudeness and maybe a Porum start with them.
That would be nice, and I don't know about your appetite right now, Bad Karma, but I'm getting one looking at Blaze's character names.
We've had a lot of interesting naming schemes, but none have made me hungrier.
Tacos and steaks, it's almost unfair.
I mean, you only got to pay an extra $3 for that side of wings.
Now, with Sid, you get off to a quick start. All the looting and shopping options are on the table. We know Sylverfyre likes to be thorough in the early game.
Yeah, I would expect them to, do their usual, check the watery pass, check the amp scene, get that early loot, then maybe do some shopping. I haven't got to see Moonblaze with all that much, so it'll be really interesting to see what his plan is as the runners are getting started.
We know Silver Bullets can take down a werewolf. Can Sylverfyre take down Moonblazewolf? We'll find out.
Next time on Free Enterprise.
Dark Knight Cecil gives us a hook start. Rydia is the second character. Both runners are going to leave her behind for now.
Not surprised by that. Rydia has definitely been valued as a slingshotting character later. Both runners really hoping to get that Tella, or even, with the Sid, they've got Mac Giant Grind on the table.
The hook is interesting. The runners are probably in no hurry to go underground, but the shops in Eblin are open. The character in Eblin is open. If you want to save scum, you could even loot the treasures down there.
Yeah, I would be tempted to do that. Do the watery pass, do dancing, and then maybe go into Evelyn Cave just to see what it's got. And oh, there was a Dragoon armor right there in Baron.
A nice pickup off the bat. Both runners going into Baron first. Cecil is guarded by Rubicant at the inn.
Doesn't have any extra fiends, so we know it's just a leg and not leg and friends. That Dragoon armor is interesting pickup because having to go down the hook route, that Sid is going to be pretty tanky with the half elemental damage and the high defense.
Blaze is going to check out that vanilla demon spot in the Mist Cave. Make sure there's no Mist Dragon hiding out somewhere.
Ooh, and there's a fight you do not want to see in the Deep Mist. That was the King Queen Evelyn. That is a free fight that you were hoping to see somewhere else.
Maybe in the Giant of Babel, because that's a requirement. And King Queen Evelyn in the element spot is just about the best place for them in the game.
Now, Sylverfyre is heading right on over to Mysidia, going to get this double check. There is a Rosa.
Rosa is pretty much an automatic pickup in these flags. You always like a white mage, and she's the best one.
But the other white mage right there with her.
So Sylverfyre gets to say with certainty which one they prefer. And of course, they go with Faye.
You can make a case for either or. Porum learns some spells at a couple different levels. Rosa's HP growth is a lot higher than Porum's. Gets the aim command, which helps with some of these early world checks. I'm a fan of Rosa myself, but I'm not a slouch on Porum either.
No, the biggest advantage Porum has over Rosa, if you ask me, is Porum learns exit normally through leveling. Rosa only learns exit through a storyline, through going through the Tower of Zot and completing that. So if you are in a position where you need exit, certainly Porum is the better way to go. Since both these runners are going to be searching far and wide for a Tella anyway, that's not as important.
Moonblazewolf found Leviathan in the waterfall, and also wanted to note he picked up some Dragoon gloves on as well. His Sid is going to be very well armored.
Sid will cosplay as a Dragoon as long if you don't have a cane around. And there's
our Tella.
And now Sylverfyre has to be thinking that an early Darkness Crystal would just be the best for them.
I'm sure Moonblazewolf was heading up in that direction and probably picked up the Tella as well as we worked to get his stream back online. Want to give a shout out to our restreamer Alisale and our tracker Groundflyer. Please give them a follow, give them some love, and also give our runners some love. Give them a follow as well.
And I missed this the first time. That's an Ogre Axe in the Watery Pass. That'll be nice for Sid.
That's a huge upgrade for Sid. That is one of his higher damaging attacks. Can also equip a shield. This Sid's going to be taking 1 damage for a long time in this overworld.
Yeah, so with just a Sid and a Rosa, Sylverfyre has to be pretty confident about anywhere in the overworld. Antlion and the full bull check should both be elementary at this point.
Striking out a little bit on the back of the Watery Pass, but we found a number of good pieces here. Sylverfyre did not go deeper into the Watery Pass on the front, so it doesn't have those Dragoon gloves, but eventually Sid's going to be wearing a Cursed Ring, I would assume, if Tella's not. So not necessary, but still would be nice.
Sylverfyre is going to get that Sid back row glitched, and in case you don't know, this game, if you equip a back row weapon on a character and then take it off, the game kind of forgets that you took it off and it just assumes that the character can hit from the back row at any time. So that is permanent.
And heading up to Mount Hobbs, this is an objective, so not surprising to see this getting done early. Another Rydia sitting on top.
And the Rydia will hang with her sister Rydia in the Tower of Wishes. Mylon Z up here.
Not a huge start here. We're seeing Rosa and Tella throwing Cure 2s on the Mylon with Sid swinging away. This will go down pretty quickly.
Question: is that a Sid? I'm up on the Lord more to me Luigi Sid.
Yep, a number of the reskins of these sprites are based on something else. That yellow and purple palette is reminiscent of Wario.
And what's Waluigi's color scheme going on?
That's purple and blue.
Ah.
Question chat. It does not matter if you have the intent of just back row glitching your character, but if you are actually using a bow and arrow, having the arrow in the dominant hand of the character does actually have an effect on how much damage is done.
Yeah, the rule is you put the bow in the non-dominant hand and the arrows in the dominant hand. Uh, and I don't know, Bad Karma, you said it doesn't matter for back row glitching purposes. I don't know if that's true. I just know that it's something I do all the time anyway.
Yeah, the only one where it does matter would be Edge. You do need to put that boomerang in his right hand to achieve the back row glitch. But for bows and arrows, it doesn't matter. Sylverfyre is heading down to the bottom of this antlion. Pretty common play for most runners. This is an easy boss, good check to do pretty quickly, especially with the Tello to be able to exit on the way out.
I am getting word that Moonblaze is still running. We're trying to get his stream back up, and we'll let you know the progress of that as we have information on it. But now Silverfyre will make our first key item check that we know of the match. At the bottom of the Antlion Cave is a computer.
Very doable fight, but possibly going to be pretty slow.
Here's where that back row of Sid really helps. Sid can attack that CPU in the back row and do just as much damage as if the CPU were just hanging out on the front row.
And Silverfyre tried to get that Boreas off before the wall went up and wasn't able to do so. So we could see some Globe 99s coming out here.
And that's a reset. You always hate to see that. CPU is one of the few enemies in the antlion spot that can give you a problem, especially if you just wait a little bit too long to take a particular action.
Yeah, trying to use a J item to clear antline is a pretty favorite tactic for a lot of runners. Just in this case, it was just a little too slow with that Tella. Might try to get it off. The Gaia drum will definitely get through.
Certainly, Gaia drum does Quake, and Quake doesn't care about wall. And even if the Globe 199s come out, could potentially still do enough damage to take care of it, maybe?
Wall is down, and that should take CPU out as well.
By the skin of their teeth, Silverfyre did it, and gets an Avenger for their trouble. Well, we said at the top, Bad Karma, that you've seen a couple of Sylverfyre's races from up here in the commentary booth. Uh, how would you describe their style?
Silverfire is definitely a thorough runner, very knowledgeable. Surprised me last night getting through a very rude Odin fight with one shot with just a little power overwhelming. They like to really prepare for tough fights, so I would not be surprised to see once Ordeals is done that Silverfire kind of peaks that hook route just to see what they're dealing with, and probably back out to Castle Evelyn, get some of those trap chests that seems to be part of that preparation and making sure going into every fight as prepared as possible.
And their preparation it gives them an edge in uh, when things invariably get a little rough from time to time. They always seem well equipped to handle it in the moment.
Yeah, using all the knowledge that they have, able to pull off fights that I wouldn't have even attempted myself. But that just shows why they're in the tables and I am up here in the booth.
All of the elements decide to attack the Bull Castle today.
One was not enough. You need all four.
Now, I don't know what periodic table they're looking at, but I think there are more than 4 elements.
Not in Final Fantasy Land. And you think about it, they are going in full strength for that Fable. 2 of those elements were beaten with Yang in the party.
Oh, so you think this is like a Final Destination situation where they're trying to cut Yang down before he can get them?
That's why they sent the mom bombs up the Hobbs.
Silverfyre is through and gets a samurai bow, so that hook's still the only key item we have so far. Both runners will probably want to do ordeals sooner rather than later, but you have to imagine that Baronin is also on the table before that hook route gets tackled.
Yeah, that samurai bow is going to be really helpful going up ordeals. Having this hook means that we can have a number of rude bosses in front of a Magna Key. So could run into a Valvalis, could run into Golbez, could run into Wyvern.
Certainly, the only rule is that those 3 really rude bosses can't block your only way underground. In this theoretical example, we already have one guaranteed way underground, and that's the hook route.
And Silverfyre just proved me wrong and going to check Evelyn before doing ordeals. We'll probably run through here, maybe find that stale man chest and see who the character is and see who's in the hook route.
Picks up a silk web, which we have seen in shops. Which shop did we see that in?
I think it was right there in Fable.
I think so too.
Illusions are definitely something that I would be maybe selling a few things to get. They can make a number of rude fights a little bit easier if you got a especially fast Octomammoth. Even a Water Hag can be in a rude spot, can be taken down with a handful of illusions.
Certainly, and especially if the hook route is required. The King Queen Evelyn spot and the Rubicon spot both have relatively high physical attack damage for this point of the game, so illusions could certainly be useful there. Hey, Bad Karma, I've got a joke for you.
I'm ready for it.
What's a Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise players' favorite Guns N' Roses album?
Highway to the Threemus Zone? Sorry, that's not it.
Use Your Illusions. Sylverfyre hung in there a little bit against those Stalemen, but Stalemen are not nice at all, and Sylverfyre eventually decides discretion is the better part of valor, and we'll try it again.
Now knows where the chest is. We'll skip along it. Eblin Cave has a pretty good chance for some middle tier loot here that could either sell for a lot or really power up the team. So this will be really nice for them to see what's up in here to be able to just freely loot all these chests.
Yes, that is the nice part about having that Staleman chest in such a conspicuous spot, is that you won't forget it. And a dwarf axe. Always nice to find for that Sid.
That's 25,000 you don't have to spend in the underground.
Now, what makes the dwarf axe so good?
So dwarf axe is the only weapon without glitches that can back row glitch a cane, but also lowers your agility by 5. And with free enterprise, the person in the middle slot determines your agility for the fight. Having Sid be slower with that dwarf axe at the start of the fight is going to make the rest of the party a little bit faster, and the boss maybe a little slower in some spots.
The character down here is just another Sid, but the Rubicon spot is a Lunar Sparkle. That could be spicy. That could be an Ogopogo. That could be a D-Lunars. That could be Wyvern. Potentially.
If it's Wyvern, that means Demas is hanging out there with a Magma Key.
Or the Magma Key is at Baron Inn or something like that. Or up on our deals.
It's also going to make it a little harder for Sylverfyre to really prepare for that fight because of so many possibilities.
Yes, and it's not like some other parts of the game where you can go check out that Sparkle even if you have no intention of fighting the fight just for that information. There's another boss fight before that, the King Queen Eblin spot, and this party is not equipped to even think about taking that on right now.
And it looks like they're going to head up. Ordeal is going to get this Tella online, full spell list. You definitely want to have that before doing any sort of hook route shenaniganry. Tella gets a lot of spells, Berserk, Blink, that'll make just going through the route a lot easier.
And even his black magic damage dealing spells, well-timed virus has saved my bacon on multiple occasions. Tella just becomes so much more useful after you complete this Ordeal split.
And this Bahamut will probably not give them any issues. Not a lot of health here. Gonna slow him down.
Yeah, Bahamut doesn't do anything except count down, and then at the end of the countdown cast Mega Nuke. At this spot, it looks like the play for Sylverfyre is going to be to try to out-damage the Bahamut, and should be able... Hopefully we'll be able to do it.
It's got about 2,000 health, so might be needing a Star Veil. Yep, there it is. The magic here is not really high, so they may be worried that just one Star Veil is not enough to kill it. Okay, so you know how I said the magic wasn't really high?
It's still a Mega Nuke.
There are some places where that Mega Nuke will only do 1,000 damage. And Sylverfyre kept that Sylph Summon. That's going to be kind of indicative they plan to pick up Iridia later once that Darkness Crystal shows up. And there is the Demist.
Another bonus round on Ordeals. We've seen this a couple of times in this tournament. You get 2 checks for the price of 3.
Yeah, this is triple value. Get the spell list for Tella, get a key item check, and get a Demas check. You don't have to worry about Demas hanging out in a weird spot like the Magus Sister spot or the bottom of Steel Cave.
And if you're just joining us, moonblazewolf is currently racing. The screen is blank. We're working on it. We'll let you know as soon as it gets back up and catch you in on everything he's done.
So the Demus here is going to have about 3,000-ish health. Not going to hit too hard with all the characters in the back row. So sylverfyre's not going to have any issues getting through this. It'll just be a little slow because of the missed transitions, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, demist here is more annoying than anything, but sylverfyre has the firepower to take care of it. Might go into some mist forms, but is in no real danger here.
So what are you hoping to see here from this Demus and Ordeals? I'm kind of hoping for like a pink tail and a package.
Yeah, something like that would be fun. Neither of them are really on the runners, on the tips of the tongues of any of the runners. I'm hoping for a twin harp from this, where it's kind of burning a hole in everybody's pockets, and we'll see how dedicated they are to fulfilling the will of the people.
Yeah, I want the runners to get some key items. You know, it gets closer to that 10 key item count for those who are new to free enterprise. Once our runners get to 10 key items, the amount of experience they gain is doubled for all their fights. Makes grinding a lot quicker, makes bosses more rewarding to kill. So the runners are trying to get to that 10 key item count, and we've had 2 checks already that have not paid out at all.
Not in the terms of key items. Although if a Kane ever shows up, that Kane will be happy about that Avenger. There is a Cecil out there, but Bad Carmen, neither of these runners might be too keen on that Cecil. Why is that?
For the Highway to the Threemus Zone tournament, we have the vanilla agility turned on. With, as I was talking about earlier, with the character in the middle slot determines the agility for the fight. If you have a Cecil in the party, then he determines the agility. It doesn't matter where he's at, just like in the vanilla game. So a lot of runners have been not taking Cecil in their parties unless they find an Excalibur early on or a Crystal Sword. That Avenger would be kind of tempting for me to take him to help through that hook route. But and Cecil at higher levels can kind of be a detriment in some fights as well.
The changing room at the top of Mount Ordeals has a tower key. Not immediately useful, but it will provide an extra key item check once these runners get underground.
I always like having a tower key on, finding in the overworld. It kind of leads me to doing towers as soon as I get to the underground. Doesn't always pay out in that regard, but it's still 2 checks that aren't terribly difficult, depending on the power of the party. And if you're going through the hook route, then your party's going to be strong enough to take care of that tower.
I always love when I can get in that Falcon, park it outside the tower, and then never have to worry about it again.
100% agree. We have 2 instances in the game where the Enterprise will just magically appear to pick you up no matter where you're at once you finish the towers up and once you finish the Tower of Babel. So once the Falcon's there, it's not going to get moved and not going to be in your way.
It always manages to get in the way. It's not bad. It's just always there.
It's not as magical as the Enterprise is.
Although it does have a big drill on it.
Useful for getting out of the hook route, to get back to the overworld.
And also it just looks cool. Although it does look a bit like the Dr. Robotnik's vehicle in Green Hill Zone in Sonic 2.
It strangely does. Sylverfyre's gonna give us a peek of this leg. Gonna free the Cecil from the clutches of drinking away in the seed. We don't know who the second boss is yet, but we should find out here shortly.
A peek of leg is right. Then Sylverfyre takes down Rubigun in no time, and some guards of some variety, and Baron guards in a French vanilla spot.
They are on the wrong side of the table.
Yeah, the waitress has to reach all the way across the table to give them their drinks. It's a pain.
Sylverfyre showing off a reason to purchase a small stack of Medusa arrows. These Baron guards do not have the boss bed on, so are susceptible to that stone from the Medusa arrows. Nicely done there to get that stone off.
And in case we weren't looking for a cane before, there's a Dragoon Spear. A cane would be fully welcomed into this party.
And I believe Sylverfyre picked up that Cecil.
Yeah, they did. So that Avenger enough to convince Sylverfyre that yes, the Paladin is needed here.
Now there will be probably some fights where Sylverfyre's gonna take that Avenger off, especially if cover strats are needed, so that Cecil can armor up and not be just swinging away. And with no more Sylverfyre's not checked Threemus yet.
No, but Sylverfyre heading over to Eblin Castle, maybe to get a couple levels on that Paladin.
I am a fan of this play. I need all the help I can get when going through any hook route. Doesn't matter if there's a Lunar Sparkle waiting for me or, Baron Guards. But I will usually come in here, get some levels, get some gear. Eblin Castle can have some pretty nice gear waiting for you.
Is it possible in these flags to get an Excalibur in one of these trap chests?
I believe these trap chests do go up to tier 6. Finding the Staleman, Sylverfyre's going to get some revenge on the twin Staleman's brother here.
We'll have to keep an eye on if Sylverfyre remembers to go back to Rydia's mother. But you see how annoying those Stalemen are. That Sid falling asleep. That sleep animation always delighted me.
Yeah, 14 levels on that Cecil. Showing how rude the Staleman can be. That sleep touch is no joke. I did not see what that was, but Sylverfyre's immediately going into the inventory to grab it.
I did not see either.
And we have moonblazewolf, looks like has got his stream taken care of.
That's good to see. I'm sure Sylverfyre liked the attention, but we would like to see both ends of this race.
Chat pointing out with some Dragoon armor. Finding the next trap chest, the Lamia and Black Cats. The Black Cats can be kind of rude. They have an instant death attack as a counter.
And the Lamias are not a ton of fun either, but Sylverfyre is committed to this. Moonblazewolf, meanwhile, on the hook route.
Has the tower key, so completed Mount Ordeals, and has the pan. We suspect that's from the Threemus turn-in, as Threemus was on top of Ordeals.
Yes, and there were no other overworld checks that Sylverfyre did not do, so that's a good guess.
And moonblazewolf will be giving us a peek. What is in our runner's way on this hook route? Another Dragoon Spear for Sylverfyre. Oh, hello, Gauntlet.
All Gauntlet at King, Queen, Eblin spot. You love to see it.
This is where Sylverfyre is going to probably catch up. An Avenger Sword Cecil is probably going to chew through a ton of the Alt Gauntlet very quickly, whereas Moonblazewolf doesn't have anything that's going to, severely weaken the Alt Gauntlet in a full clearing fashion.
This Alt Gauntlet could be a little bit of a grind for these runners. We haven't seen a Darkness Crystal yet, so we don't have access to the D-Machine or Mac Giant grinds. So if these players feel a little bit under-leveled, they might appreciate seeing this Alt Gauntlet here if they can get past it. I'm just trying to find the bright side.
And Moonblazewolf could be, as we were talking about earlier, that's a heavily armored Sid. Taking 500 damage from himself, but only 1 damage from his enemies.
Yeah, gonna stabilize, get rid of that Black Cat, and try to steady himself here.
And it looks like Moonblazewolf's Sid is rocking a rune axe by the green color.
Wonder where he picked that one up.
With how thorough Sylverfyre's being on these trap chests, I would suspect maybe the Mad Ogre chest, if it's not the Staleman or this Mad Ogre chest here. This is Sylverfyre's last trap chest in Castle Eblin. So we'll finish up the looting and probably dive into this hook route.
And again, we'll see if Sylverfyre remembers to swing by Mist and talk to Mom first.
Yeah, I would like Sylverfyre to have that pan when they go underground so that they can do one trip in the Sylph. Looking at the HP totals of each runner's party, though, they're comparable in levels right now. The trap chests and in Castle Eblin have been really kind to Sylverfyre with the amount of XP. Moonblazewolf Sid and Sylverfyre Sid look to be probably the same level.
And there's a crystal sword. This is huge.
So last night, Sylverfyre found a crystal sword. I'm not gonna say where, but didn't have room to take a Cecil. Now has found one again and has the Cecil.
And I believe that's the last trap chest in Castle Eblin, so going to continue to loot it out, see if there's anything. Diamond ring, not bad.
And Moonblazewolf takes a reset, and the Gauntlet was having a little trouble getting through those bombs with Rosa and Tella down.
Gonna rearrange, go down to battle speed 2 again. That's where he was last time.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of some board face AI targeting Tella and Rosa there that really made it a little bit more difficult for him. Sylverfyre.
Even though Sylverfyre is behind on the route, Sylverfyre is going to slice and dice their way through this gauntlet, you'd have to think.
Yeah, won't be able to do... we'll have to choose whether or not to do an Avenger or Crystal Sword through this gauntlet. I don't think there's a wrong choice here for him. Both options is going to get through. Sylverfyre is going to skip even the Mad Ogre chest and is just going to go zoom.
Well, why not do both? If you start off with a Crystal Sword and switch it for an Avenger midway through the fight, you get the berserking power of the Avenger, but all the stats of the Crystal Sword.
But it would only work for that fight.
True. And there are 5 of them. You won't be able to re-equip the Crystal Sword in between those fights.
Yeah, I would suspect we're probably going to see maybe manual berserks if needed, but berserks aren't going to be needed with this Cecil's in the mid-20s already in levels. He's going to slice and dice no matter which way. Honestly, the only thing that's really going to give Sylverfyre any trouble, I think, is going to be an Ogopogo in that Rubicon spot.
Yeah, we don't know what is in that Rubicon spot yet. We do know it's a Lunar Sparkle, but there are, I think every single Lunar Sparkle is still out there, so, except for Wyvern, it can't be that.
Yeah, that Lamia fight still giving Moonblaze trouble. The board face AI is taking the mages down.
And with the lack of targets, Sid keeps getting confused and keeps whacking himself, and Sid is doing the most... Sid is the character on the screen doing the most damage to Sid at this point.
Back row glitched. Cecil rocking a Crystal Sword. Sylverfyre was able to get a life glitch off on that Ogre.
Yeah, Sylverfyre's in really good shape here.
Yeah, it looks like they switched to the Avenger in one of the fights, so Cecil is just swinging angrily.
We do like him when he's angry.
Looks like moonblazewolf is getting stabilized here. Getting the party back up.
Yeah, one of the things about the table flags is that hourglasses are not as available in these flags. It used to be in the group flags you could find hourglasses in underground gated shops. Found them in Eblin Cave all the time. They're no longer around quite so readily.
Yeah, the S standard flag makes a lot of items that we were seeing in the group flags just not available. So they're definitely more at a premium, especially when you find them. You have to be a little bit more choosy on when you're going to throw an hourglass or a Bacchus wine out. Got a favorable board face AI there with that bomb blowing up on Sid.
Cecil on Sylverfyre's side shows the Blade Man a real sword.
Now this last egg is a green dragon, can be a little bit rude. And Sylverfyre once again proves my words wrong.
Well, those Medusa arrows, once again, doing work, turning that dragon into stone.
There have been a few other runners who have been, when they see Medusa arrows, picking them up. So Sylverfyre is going with that Dwarf Axe, going to lower Cecil's agility. We'll have to do a little bit of extra menuing to get that Crystal Sword Avenger wielding, but I suspect if it's an Ogopogo, is going to be wanting cover strats.
Yeah, with Cecil in the back row, rocking that Dragoon armor, that physical armor is very sturdy. So cover strats are perfectly valid here.
And instead, just Crystal Sword Cecil go burr. And just to pale them with two physical fighters wielding some Dragoon gear, this is not going to be terribly rude.
No, Pale Dim, one of the better sparkles to see here, and that Crystal Sword doing work.
Counters every physical attack with a slow. So it is just going to be time, but it's also time that both runners are going to go through.
Blaze through that gauntlet, takes care of that last egg, and will face down his sparkle.
Now, unfortunately, Sylverfyre did not go back and pick up the pan from Rydia's mom, where we suspect the pan is at Rydia's mom. We don't have a full confirmation on that yet. So we'll have to do a couple of trips in and out of Sylph Cave, depending on how they want to route this underground.
But Blaze will have a little bit of a tougher time with this Pale Dim. But should be able to get through it on Blaze's side. He has two Blink casters there if he gets those up in time. Although I don't know if it's Rosa has enough levels for Blink. Looks like
she does.
How convenient.
Yeah, but Pale Dim is moving very fast here. Got 3 hits off before even 1 Blink was up.
This is quite a speedy spot. I think in the original game, all those animations of Ruby opening and closing his cloak as a turn. So if enemies use those turns to actually punch, it gets on top of you real fast.
Sid is berserked up. Sylverfyre is through the fight. Is gonna get it through the underground, or get to the underground. We have 44 minutes and 50 seconds. Ooh, and a Bigan hanging out at the top of the tower.
And I would be tempted with that tower key to go straight up that tower and take on that Bigan.
Yeah, I would as well, especially with a Crystal Sword Avenger Cecil. Gonna make quick work of just about most of these bosses in the underground, as long as Sylverfyre can stand up to the punches.
It is going to be a long fight because that spot has a ton of HP, something like 25,000, something like that. But so Sylverfyre going to take care of it later.
Yeah, Blaze keeping his party blinked up, has Sid berserked, chewing away about 700 a hit. There's a curse ring in Tamra.
It always seems to be in Tamra.
Now the question becomes, though, do you just go and grab a second Cecil?
There is one available, isn't there? Because there was a Cecil at the Watery Pass, so I don't think Sylverfyre picked up that Cecil and sent him packing, so he could still just be waiting there.
I believe that was actually a Sid in the Watery Pass.
Oh, you're right.
Has not found a second Cecil, but I would be very tempted if one of the final character checks said Marine Port Engineer. Sorry, I got distracted by the job check. As I was saying, though, I would be very tempted to take a second Cecil and have that Cecil be the anchor and let Crystal Sword Avenger Cecil just swing away.
I guess a Marine Port Engineer is different from an Airport Engineer. It'd be cool if somebody who knows.
So.
It'd be cool if somebody who knows something about that were able to chime in. Blaze, meanwhile, still at this Pale Dim. It's a very slow fight because of all those counters, trying to get all those blinks up. Still going. Slow and steady, he's hoping will win him the race.
Yeah, that Sid's not going to die, though. Has Dragoon armor on, taking 1 damage. Oh, found a free curse ring in the Fate March.
And and a Twin Harp in the free chest, but that cursed ring does lead you to say, well, why didn't you loot all the rest of it? You could have found even more cursed rings.
And Sylverfyre, with a couple of curse rings in hand, will be giving us a peek at who this objective is.
Yes, the meme is that the Fey March is haunted, but tonight defeating the king is an objective, so Sylverfyre will definitely want to know who's down there and see if they can take him right now.
There's a number of bosses down here that Sylverfyre would probably just take immediately.
Mom Bomb's not one of them.
No. Karate, on the other hand.
Karate will hit hard at this spot, but since this is a storyline fight, if you can wait through 2 kicks and hit Karate with Cecil, Karate just says ouch and falls over.
And there it is.
Just as was foretold.
20,000 XP richer. Ooh.
A shiny armband, a Zeus gauntlet.
That's 10 strength and 10 vitality.
You're always happy to see that that Cecil could always use some more power.
And Sylverfyre looks to be gearing up to tackle this Mob Bomb.
So the reason that Mom Bomb is so annoying here, the reason that Mom Bomb is so annoying anywhere is Mom Bomb gets an extra 10,000 HP no matter where they are. The king is a fast spot, is a high health spot, and a high physical damage spot. So it's not going to be fun, but Sylverfyre is confident they can take it.
Oh, and for Moonblazewolf, Sid is the only one standing. This actually, I think, may speed the fight up a little bit, not having other characters clog the queue. But you would want that Rosa to get some of this XP. I'm still hitting that Cecil pretty hard because Cecil is not wearing a shield.
And 2-shot Cecil, and that's a reset. And Sylverfyre decides later.
Plenty of other checks to do, though. Crystal Sword Cecil is going to make short work as moonblazewolf finishes the Pale Dim. It's going to get to the underground in about 51 minutes.
Well, Blaze made it through. Well done to him. That is never an easy fight, especially with that party. And he just kept plugging away at it.
And that's a Mylon and Friends. We've already seen Mylon Z, who was our objective at the top of Mount Hobbs.
So the ghost gas here will be annoying, but that Crystal Sword, Cecil, you want to make sure you don't kill that Mylon before all the gas go down. Otherwise, the gas get really angry and start hitting hard.
Not a lot of health for them, though, so I think these cures will take quick work. Yeah, moonblazewolf has a number of freebies to check. Gonna peek the Fame Arch and see what the rudeness is down there. Does not have that Cecil to make short work of the karate fight.
You can't imagine that Blaze will be in a hurry to tackle those Fame Arch bosses, especially since Blaze has the pan and has those checks to go for.
He did see the Baigan at the top. He's rewarded with Curse String.
Sylverfyre through Mylon and Friends and will stare down the Mega Sisters. Not a ton of health at this spot. See you, Edward. It'll be 3,000 HP divided up among the sisters. This shouldn't be an issue here.
Crystal Sword Cecil go burr. That Moonblaze saw the bottom of the Fame Arch and noped right out of there.
Wake up, old man. We gotta get out of here.
From one old man to another. moonblazewolf's going to give us our first check and see what is gained by bonking Yang on the head with a pan.
I'm always amused at the low magic power in the Goldes spot. That lit 2 doing a whopping 18 damage.
I mean, for one of the more powerful mages, his spells just didn't hurt that hard in the vanilla game.
I always wondered if he was taking it easy on us.
He did a Rocky video training montage later to get ready for Xevis. A Stardust Rod for hitting Yang on the head. That is going to be really interesting if moonblazewolf is going to slingshot that Rydia we found.
Yeah, there are 2 Rydias hanging out. I don't think we've seen a Palom yet, but certainly any Black Mage will appreciate that stat stick.
Gonna be getting Sheila 1, Sheila 2 knocked out here. 2 more checks for moonblazewolf, getting these freebies done.
And the Wario hand reaches slowly for the crystal.
And there's a legend sword, and our restreamer pointed out the last piece of gear that they wanted for Allie wanted for Cecil was a power shirt. Sheila 1 has it waiting for him.
So Cecil, as soon as Sylverfyre gets up there, will be fully decked out. And that's a rat tail from Dwarf Castle. That's another easy check.
So we are 2 items away from go mode now.
Yeah, moonblazewolf needs the adamant and needs a way to get to Zeromus, either the pass or the darkness crystal.
And I guess just a darkness crystal, because that would allow him to go right back and do that mom bomb fight after a grind.
Certainly, and you only need the darkness crystal to complete that giant, so that's all either of our runners need, but there is another way if there's something really, really rude at elements or CPU. And Blaze doing an interesting thing, looting the underground passage beneath Dwarf Castle. We don't see this a ton, but he must be looking for some more pieces of gear or maybe something else to sell.
Yeah, getting some money for these shops, knows that these gated shops are going to be a little bit higher tier, so wants to make sure that he's got enough. And also didn't want to lift the airship again after doing a heal at the pot, probably.
And to answer a question in chat, CPU was at Antlion, so CPU at Elements, not possible in this seed, unfortunately.
We do still have a number of rude bosses that can be available at that spot. Wyvern has not been spotted yet. Golbez has not been spotted yet.
Valvalis has not been spotted yet. Evil Wall.
Kenatsu.
Kanatsu would be horrendous at Elements with how much HP that spot has.
So while Sheila 2 has that Legend Sword, Sylverfyre's not entirely punished by not getting the pan from the D-Mist, especially if they can find the Darkness Crystal.
Just a package from that rat tail, since D-Mist has already been found. There are very few characters I would think that Sylverfyre would be willing to sit through that cutscene for. I don't think we'll be checking it out. Sylverfyre did not forget. I'm going to check Rydia's mom. See what she's got going on.
Will be rewarded with their pan.
Yep, and that's official.
Question in chat. The Crystal Sword was in Castle Eblin. It was one of the 3 trap chests that's there.
And actually going to check that package character. It's a Young, and Sylverfyre says, no thanks.
I wouldn't hate a Young. Darkness Crystal is going to show up here soon. I mean, it would have to at some point. It's one of the objectives. So being able to slingshot a Yang to go with that Crystal Sword Cecil would be pretty hard.
I do like it when a shirtless Yong summons a shirtless Titan to do his dirty work. Blaze is through the first Mylon fight in the Dwarf Castle. We'll get to stare down the Magus Sisters.
Moonblazewolf is rocking a Rune Axe, so we'll zerk up the Sid and just let him start chopping away.
Blaze also decides against the Eddie strats, at least for now. I guess Eddie strats aren't on the table at all if you have a Tela, because you know the Darkness Crystal's got to be somewhere on the blue planet.
Especially with Giant as an objective, you know you're going to be getting it, and you're going to be grinding and going there. For Ground Flyer, I think honestly at this immediate moment right now, both our runners are probably tied. That pan, not getting the pan really kind of put Sylverfyre a little bit behind, having to go and redo those checks, whereas Moonblazewolf was a little bit more efficient. So I think the play now is either going to be Harp or Tower.
And you'd have to think the Tower would be more attractive. The two key items, the boss at the top, Baigen, is going to be tough, but it's not undoable. But we'll see.
We have a fully powered up Cecil with a bandana, power shirt, and Zeus gauntlets with a crystal sword and an Avenger.
Ooh, missed the volcano opening. Lands on the green part on the north slope of the mountain. If I had a nickel for every time I did that, I'd have a bunch of nickels.
And the Matthew McConaughey line from Interstellar always pops in.
A good landing is one you can walk away from.
Oh, this little maneuver is going to cost us 57 years.
Blaze is going to turn in that rat tail. Get his package. Blaze has presumably done all the same character checks. How do you think he wants to fill out his party at this point?
I think he's feeling confident that he'll be able to tackle the tower. Maybe take those two Iridias and go for double nukes. Hasn't found, unless he finds a Kane and wants to go Berserker Kane with all the Dragoon Spears that we found. I would suspect that Stardust Rod is burning a hole in his pocket and wants to get two Black Mages online.
But first, he wants to give the people what they want. He's going for the Cave Magnus and for music. So now we have some true divergence here, and we'll see if one play is going to pan out more than the other.
Yep, for those who are new to Free Enterprise, we like to randomize as many things as we can in the vanilla game. At this spot, Edward will get out of his bed and heroically crawl over to his harp and begin playing music that will weaken the Dark Elf. Instead of the tune that he plays, we like to randomize it. That is usually a tune from another RPG, some pop culture, all done with a harp.
Yep, the original tune, the theme of love, it's beautiful, but you don't want to hear it too often. And so we get to hear all kinds of other songs, and there are some really spectacular tunes out there. And I'm going to shut up for a minute and let you hear it. D-Lunar's here, never fun. Really high magic defense here. So we'll get to hear this music a good long time. But at the top of tower was Adamant. Sylverfyre now has both of the parts to forge that legend sword and complete his first objective. And Sylverfyre still needs a way to Zeromus, but has access to 3 objectives.
Yeah, just going to be on the lookout for a pass or a Darkness Crystal. I'm sure they're going to be really hoping for the Darkness Crystal instead of the pass, though.
Certainly, and the best case scenario, I think, for Sylverfyre would be that Darkness Crystal at Mom Bomb.
Earth Crystal for moonblazewolf out of the Harp.
Thank you to our restreamer Vanilla Sail. Also our tracker Ground Flyer, who has nothing to do with the vanilla.
I don't think our restreamer appreciated that one. Oh my! Tower was the play.
A loaded tower gets the Darkness Crystal. Sylverfyre in complete go mode.
And welcome to the Raiders from RPG Limit Break. Please, as a reminder, do not spoil the race that you just came from. For those of us who are over here would like to catch the bot, keep spoilers to a 0.
Yeah, to catch you up on this race, we're almost an hour 10 in. Sylverfyre just picked up the Darkness Crystal and the Adamant from the tower. So going to forge that Legend Sword and Adamant now, and has the chance to defeat the king at the Town of Monsters. Moonblazewolf has done 1 objective and is going a completely different route, going for that Earth Crystal.
Yeah, this is going to be a lengthy check. It is going to give moonblazewolf 2 characters. Sylverfyre, though, also has an advantage with a Crystal Sword. Cecil found a Crystal Sword in Castle Eblin in one of the trap chests, so has been rocking through a number of fights with that Crystal Sword.
Yeah, and you can see it most especially on the hook route that was required. There was an alt gauntlet and a pale dim that Moonblazewolf got through, but Sylverfyre completely destroyed and gained a lot of time there.
So here's one interesting thing. Okay, Sylverfyre is going to go take on that Mob Bomb, get 10th key item, so won't have to complete the Giant once the Mob Bomb is done. It won't be doing a grind with 9 key items.
Yes, as soon as, no matter what the Mom Bomb gives, as soon as Sylverfyre's done with the Mom Bomb, they'll get their crystal and they'll get 10 key items, doubling the experience on that grind, make it twice as fast. So good routing and play.
Yeah, we do have a Rydia waiting in the rings to be slingshotted and also a Stardust Rod.
Too bad you can't choose characters out of the Tower of Wishes by their color palette.
Who says you can't? I know I've done it.
Well, you have to choose them when you talk to them, right? And on the main screen, they're just regular.
Yeah, I may spend a little extra time talking to all of them, make sure I get the right color. And this is Sylverfyre's revenge on the Mom Bomb.
Mom Bomb's still hitting hard and takes down that Cecil before.
Ooh, by 5 HP.
Yeah, this is not a free objective by any stretch. The Leviathan spot hits hard, and Mom Bomb hits like a truck anywhere. Blaze, meanwhile, finds third Rydia.
Yeah, this would be a spot where I would be tempted to put that Avenger away, get a shield on Cecil, and let him do cover strats.
Takes the time to get a blink up on him. The Avenger sword looks to be off Cecil right now.
moonblazewolf found a punch mage at the top of Zod as well. Did not take the Rydia or Yang, and it's going to be greeted with a Water Hag.
So it'll be free.
But at what cost?
That's real deep. Well, the cost is Rosa's innocent at not knowing exit.
It's not the friends we ditched along the way, it's the time that we spent to ditch them.
Where there was only one set of footprints, it was there that I ditched that third Rydia.
Sylverfyre has the Crystal Sword, Avenger Cecil swinging away, blinks are up.
Moonblazewolf is through, going to transport himself magically to Baron.
Got the kill before the explosion. Well done, Sylverfyre.
Very clutch indeed. Takes care of that third objective and gets an edge sword.
But more importantly, that is 3 objectives for Highway to the Threemus Zone. We only need 3 of the 4 objectives to be complete. So Sylverfyre does have their crystal, 10 key items, and will be rounding out their party and headed to the Giant, I presume.
Did you see what Blaze got from the tower?
I missed it.
Blaze taking that Cecil.
Chat is saying it was a gold apple.
Thank you, chat. And so Sylverfyre still has only 4 members in their team, but they're raising the whale now. You have to figure they're on their way to a grind. You have to take Iridia at this point, right?
I believe so. With the characters we have, unless they want to go and spend the time at the package to get a young, I think Iridia is the right spot.
Yeah, I agree. It wouldn't hurt to check the moon character, see if there's somebody you like better up there, but I think Iridia is perfectly good for a slingshot, gets nuke at level 52. Health progression is a little bit on the low side, but if you're progressing all at once, it's less of an issue.
Yeah, and moonblazewolf is heading up the tower, gonna be getting his go mode here shortly.
How about a second Cecil up on the moon? Would you take a second Cecil over Iridia if you're Sylverfyre?
I think so. I think a second Cecil would be acceptable. You can get that first Cecil up to some crazy levels. Let him swing in 7 to 8K on that Threemus. Yeah, chat pointing out, don't even need to floor that second Cecil. Could just trade the Crystal Sword and with the Avenger Cecil and have 2 Crystal Swords swinging away.
That is the dream. Blaze heading up to the top of the tower. You're gonna find that Baigan. And there's a Moon Cane.
We do have a Dragoon Lance.
And Sylverfyre says, yes, come on in.
Held on to both of them that we found. Has plenty of cane gear.
Yeah, Sid was keeping all that cane gear warm in the beginning of the game. Now it can go onto its rifle person, and Sylverfyre has a big, beefy party ready to kick some butt.
Oh, and Sylverfyre looks like gonna grind on the moon, either taking trap chests or bosses on the way down to Threemus. I like this play.
Any particular trap chests you would be hunting for at this point?
The 2 red giants are pretty easy to take care of. The warlock, 1 warlock, 3 carries. Any of the behemoth chests.
Finds a defossil and warlock here.
Not going to be able to get a life glitch on that defossil. Can't life him up, but still getting double XP. Ooh, does not have any MP on a Rosa. That could come into play for a rude dragon fight. Hopefully they will. They have some ethers.
Yes, and they have, I think, some cabins, but not a huge amount. Through that first one, and now the amount of gear that they're going to get is just obscene. Another Murasame.
Yeah, I've been doing this sort of grind with this type of party, and finding that it can take, if you've got to walk the moon, and you take these chests and you're at the right levels, which Sylverfyre clearly is, this is going to only take them about 10 minutes total to do the fights and get to Threemus. I've had it take me 10 minutes just to do a D machine, just to do the entire D machine fight.
Certainly, and there's and Sylverfyre knows firsthand that the D machine fight isn't trivial. You have to prepare for it. You have to set up for it. And once you're there, you have to be very, very careful. One bad input, and your entire grind goes up in smoke. So this, it's a little more piecemeal, but it's certainly comparable in time.
Yeah, question chat. Fusuya is the banned character for this tournament. Rydia is very much available. There's 120,000 XP for that behemoth. And the other thing, too, with this party, Sylverfyre doesn't have to grind as many levels. Can probably stop around 45-ish, 46-ish.
Yeah, 45 is the best level for Cecil in regard to agility for Z. That puts him right at 28 agility, which is equal with Zeromus, and that means you're not making Zeromus any faster. And even at level 45, that Crystal Sword still packs a big wallop. So if Sylverfyre wants to stop grinding Cecil at level 45, they'd be perfectly justified in doing that.
Sylverfyre finding the Warlock carry grind. This is one of the easier trap chests. Can get the life glitches off. Hopefully before Cecil makes short work of everybody. And moonblazewolf is through the Bigen fight.
Carry. They're all gonna laugh at you. But Sylverfyre is through.
So moonblazewolf has found his adamant. Gonna get to the bottom and get his darkest crystal. Gonna be a grind away. Depending on how long it takes moonblazewolf to do his grind, this could still be a race. While Sylverfyre definitely has the time advantage, the Zeromus fight could still go sideways, and give moonblazewolf time to catch up that he needs.
Yeah, it's not a lost cause for him yet. Moonblazewolf can still find his way to victory here. But Sylverfyre certainly has the advantage at this point. Going to take on that ribbon room. There's Kainatsu, and there's a quick reset.
Question chat, Chino, no. Moonblaze is not forged yet. Got the adamant at the top of the tower.
Moonblaze has also not fought that Mom Bomb yet.
Now, would you Moonblazewolf did the extra check, so has the Earth Crystal. Doesn't need the Mom Bomb to give him 10 gems. Would he grind and just do the Giant?
That's certainly a possibility. The Mom Bomb is a rude fight, but the two fights in the Giant are rude as well. But if you're going to go up there to do the grind after you get your Excalibur, it might just be quicker to do that.
Depending on which bosses are up there. We know Kanatsu's not going to be up there. We just saw him. Moonblazewolf is now officially in go mode.
And Sylverfyre has turned on encounters a red dragon.
Gets the Dragoon Spear, puts the Avenger on, and Kane is going to be the one that's going burn now.
Kane rhymes with pain. The Dragoon eager to show who the real pain man of this seed is. That's Cecil now up to level 47 on Sylverfyre's side, so might as well keep Cecil up at this point.
Yeah, 47, I think, will put Cecil at 29 agility.
Yes, and if you're gonna miss heaven, don't miss it by an inch. just go ahead and level him up to level 99.
Sylverfyre shows off an evil mask as a random encounter. This is can be a particularly rude one depending on your setup. Will reflect some high level spells on you, cast wall on your own party, so white magic's not going to be saving you. But with a Crystal Sword Avenger Cecil, going to make pretty short work.
This is kind of a deconstructed alt gauntlet at Ogopogo spot that we are always clamoring for.
Just with breaks in between.
It's the new revolution in gastronomy.
Yeah, so we have moonblazewolf setting up his D machine manipulation. Normally, to get the D machine grind, it requires running away from enemies while counting steps. We have the E can't run flag on, so we can't run away from some of those tougher fights with the giant. Our community members, Simbu and Twisted Flax, were able to figure out the RNG manipulation for the encounter rate to guarantee a D machine grind fight. And that is what moonblazewolf is setting up right now.
Meanwhile, Sylverfyre making a beeline toward the bottom of the lunar subterrane.
And we've got some weird flags with some Z's on it. Do you know what those are for?
Is it bedtime?
At this point, it is for me.
Oh, I found the dad. No, it's time to find out whose butt we're gonna kick.
Yeah, we can't randomize where Zeromus is, so instead we randomize what he looks like. And thanks to the wonderful Scala Kitty, there are over 460 variations that Zeromus can be. So that's why we like to ask, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Well asked, as always. You have to have a favorite, I'm sure.
Flip Tablemus. And really, the reason I like that one so much is because I wanted to flip the table the first time I saw it because of how rude that scene was.
It just expresses everything so well.
Ooh, Pizarromus. Dragon Warrior 4.
I don't know where the butt is on this Z, but there are 5 eyes to kick, it looks like.
I mean, if it has 2 faces, does it have 2 butts?
How many butts can dance on the head of a pin?
Are we playing Final Fantasy V?
He's playing the piano, he's not dancing.
If you give him the dancing job, he'll dance.
True. That opening nuke went off on Tella. All things considered, just about the best place it could have gone. Tella's not really necessary for this fight, and it looks like Sylverfyre's going to get up 3 Zergs.
Yeah, got a stack of Bacchus Swines. I must have been, I think that was in the Coco shop. Question in chat. Yes, he does, Cheesinator. It has happened in this tournament. Not going to tell you which race it was. It was restreamed, so just start watching all of them.
I mean, that's just good life advice. That's a full-powered Big Bang, but everybody able to tank it. And with the Zerg fighters clogging up that queue, a nice casual 6,000 damage.
And this party will be back up and ready for if there is another big bang. I would, well, as he just shakes right there. That was a crit for 7,000.
Shake, virus and nuke. And yeah, shake, virus and nuke. Another kind roll on that big bang leaves everybody up, and another Cure 4 right out, and Sylverfyre looks to be in control here.
As moonblazewolf is getting ready to start his D-Machine grind. Now with the black hole, that Cecil is using an Avenger, so not going to be affected by it. We'll just need to have Sid and Kane drink some more wine.
Yep, got enough for everybody, but it's almost last call. Rocks are falling.
Rocks indicate that Zeromus has less than 12,000 health left. There's the flash. Please get your GGs in chat for Sylverfyre as we are joined by him. GG, Sylverfyre.
GG, Sylverfyre. What'd you think of that seed?
So, I heard Crystal Sword Cecil with an Avenger to swap to is pretty good.
He went burr, burr.
How excited were you to see that Crystal Sword pull in Ebony Castle?
Quite. I was quite excited.
Yeah, you had you picked up at Ebony Castle. Moonblazewolf didn't get Cecil until much later in the seed. Never went there.
I'll be honest. The Avenger by itself was enough for me to grab Cecil. The Crystal Sword was just the Crystal Sword was the reason that I gamble on the Eblan Castle boxes, because they're higher quality than any of the other trap boxes available to you at that time. I've also been known to open moon boxes on purpose, fishing for one of those tier 7 weapons for a Cecil.
I've done the same, and it has paid off. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, it turns out there's actually a very reasonable chance for that to happen. I'd take like a defense sword or a lightsaber. Like those would have been fine. I would be very happy swapping one of those with an Avenger.
Yeah, all things that you can find. I believe Looter Subterrane is a 55% chance in those trap chests for tier 7.
Mm-hmm. And there's only 7 tier 7 items, and 3 of them are Cecil swords. Of course, at that point, I would have at least had the Excalibur anyway, which also is acceptable. We'll take Excalibur.
So at that point, Crystal Sword Cecil was just slicing through anything you put before him. What was your overall plan once you completed that hook route and got into the underworld?
Well, I mean, the first thing I did was, can I just knock out Leviathan right now? And it turns out, even with 70 defense on Cecil, Mom Bomb can still melee for 1,000 damage in the back row, with Cecil in the back row. So I was like, well, that's awkward. I knew that Mom Bomb hits like a truck there, but ouch!
Yeah, that was because of the order that Mom Bomb took you out on that first attempt. It didn't even seem like you had a chance to even get an action off.
If I'm not taking, that was one of those where it's like, if I'm taking more than double digits on Cecil, because everyone else is probably just going to die, then I'm not going to bother. So that first attempt, yeah, just after I, knocked out Yang, I just left. Then later I came back and I just kind of got, the first time I got bad luck, but I'm like, no, I definitely can do this. I just need to get the illusions and blanks up.
Yeah, it was overall you ran an excellent race. We were wondering, did you forget the D-miss before the hook route, or
Oh,
was
I
that?
totally forgot the demons. Like that is like a mistake that I've made more than once in important races, and I was really feeling awkward, especially when it was the pan. It's like, well, I just wasted like a full minute. Now I have to walk back to Yang again. It ultimately cost me 1 minute, which is like a lot less than it could have cost me.
Yeah,
It could have just like been the darkness crystal or something.
I mean, as someone who's completely forgotten about Rydia's mom on stream, I feel for you there.
I rarely completely forget about it. It's one of those where it's like I return to the overworld and I'm like, oh no.
We were wondering if it was the package that kind of triggered. It's like, oh, I need
Exactly.
to check.
Well, I mean, I was like the package, and like the moment I got the package, I'm like, I never checked Rydia's mom.
It was a good way to route it in, check the character. It was all part of the plan.
I did, yeah. I was mostly hoping that the character was the second Cecil.
Yeah, we were wondering if you were going to take a second Cecil.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Just looking for a second Cecil to throw a Dwarf Axe on and leave him and have him guard the floor.
Yeah, well, moonblazewolf decided to skip the Mom Bomb and is doing the bosses on the Giant right now after doing his D-Machine. Octomammoth was in the Element spot.
Okay, Octomam isn't too bad in that spot, but it is real awkward when you're toting that Holy Sword, because he takes half damage from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely happier with just taking out the Mom Bomb. Just get the blinks up and you're fine. Says the person berserking with the Crystal Sword.
Andy didn't have to go to the Giant at all because of the moon box grind.
Yeah,
that's
I'm glad. That's one I'll only do if I have 10 key items. But it's like, it's like I have to walk down the Zeromus anyway. Setting up that D-Machine grind takes time. It doesn't take time. Opening boxes on the way to where you're going anyway.
Yeah, I've been doing it recently on a few of my table seeds, especially.
And then it's like, oh, I don't have enough XP. I want like 1 or 2 more fights. So I just like at the Lunar Core, I just turned on encounters, like 2 red dragons. Even that dreaded triple red dragon fight, like that party can just handle that. I had Dragoon armor on like both of my front lines.
Yeah, and without
that evil mask.
Yeah, I just shredded the evil mask. It was fine. It's a little awkward because it takes a little longer than most of the other fights, but whatever.
But the Avenger Sword, you made really short work of it, and you didn't have to grind a Black Mage all the way to nuke levels too.
Yeah, that's important. I ended up not actually casting any whites on Zeromus, just because it's like I don't want to screw this up. And I went with the fast strat on Cecil, which is one I'm rather fond of.
Yeah, we saw that come out, and chat was pointing it out as well, so they all took notice. Well, you're 2-1 now. You got 3 more matches coming up this week. How are you feeling about the rest of them?
I'm feeling pretty okay about them.
Yeah, you're in a good position, but you need some more results to go your way, and it looks like you're rounding into top form.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my performance right now. I've got some other tricks up my sleeve that I haven't had to pull out yet, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm enjoying this flag set, even though it is sometimes a real slog.
Yeah, it has been a really good flag set to see different ways of getting through a lot of things. With this seed, you showed that getting some early loot can really propel you ahead of the way. That's all I have for Sylverfyre. Sheepwatcher, you have anything else?
No, unless you have any final thoughts, Sylverfyre. GG, and best of luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. GG's as well. that was Sylverfyre with an official completion time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 30 seconds. moonblazewolf did get through that Octomammoth at the element spot and is going to be doing this boss at the CPU spot.
CPU spot can be rude, and this is a Val.
Post grind, probably not too worried about it. He still has the Avenger.
Is probably not going to be terribly worried about the high magic evade at this spot. Although he did want to test it out with that nuke on Rydia, finds out the bad news that Valvalis will not take any magic damage here as long as she's in her spin.
Not as high amount of HP here as the element spot. Will be a bit of a slog, but should be able to get through it.
Yeah, maybe the biggest concern for Blaze at this point is making sure that none of his characters get stoned. But with that Cecil putting out 3,000-4,000 a swing, it might take some time, but it'll be doable.
Who tried to get the life up on that Rydia who got weaked, or the Blink, I mean, and Boardface was not having any of that.
Gets that blink up on Cecil, obviously the most important person to blink at this at this time.
Yeah, we need Cecil to be swinging away as much as possible. Looks like Sylverfyre is going to be giving us a second rendition of the Heart music.
Blaze is through. As soon as this cutscene is over, we'll complete that fourth objective and get his crystal. And you'd have to think right up to Zeromus.
Sylverfyre, yeah. moonblazewolf did the Twin Harp after doing Dwarf Castle.
Yes, when Sylverfyre went to the Tower Key to check the tower, Blaze took that opportunity to go do the Twin Harp. What was there was a vanilla earth crystal, and he went up there. The Tower of Zot only had a gold apple.
Get his squish crystal, gonna head up right up to the moon and walk on down.
While we have the opportunity, I'd like to thank again our restreamer Alicel and our tracker Groundflyer, both of whom have done a great job tonight. And thank you to my co-commentator Bad Karma for such knowledge and the dulcet tones.
And thank you, Sheep Launcher, as well. And if you haven't done so, please give the Restream team a follow and give our runners a follow as well. They've put on an excellent race for us here tonight.
So I don't know how closely you've looked at the standings, Bad Karma. Sylverfyre is at 2-1. The top 16 make it into the next round. I don't know if 4-2 is going to be a guarantee of making it in the next round. You have to think 4-2 would put you in a really good spot. 3-3 might be running a tiebreaker race. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to feel safe, then the 4-2 is the mark you really want to hit. I think you would also still have a chance, though, with the 3-3.
Certainly.
Yeah, looking at the records of those who have completed their matches, we do have a wide number of 2-2s, 1-2s, 1-1s still. Not many people with 3 wins or more. I believe it looks like there's only 4.
And there are different levels of runner participation. Some have run, I think, 5 of their 6 races already. Some haven't run any. So everything is still in a lot of flux there. But I agree. 4 and 2, you should be feeling fairly secure. 3 and 3 is cutting it close, I would think.
Yeah, we still have another. I believe the runners have until the 18th or the 16th, actually. I'm sorry, to complete all the races. So we have all of this week, all of next week, with a number of races already scheduled for you, and we will be trying to get as many up here as we can.
And while Blaze is walking down, let me pull up some of the great action we have on deck for you tomorrow, if that's ready. Oh, nope. Not for public consumption yet. But we do have more Highway to the Threemus Zone action coming up for you on Free Enterprise and potentially some other channels as well, so stay tuned.
Yeah, while the restream schedule has not been set up yet, we do have 4 matches tomorrow night. 2 of them at 9 o'clock. We have Scredwood and Penguinator. Twisted Flax and Dia are also at 9. At 9:30, we have X Pancraz versus Antidale. And then at 10 o'clock, we have Slippery 42 and Flurry 14.
It's becoming a cliche, like, with each match that comes up, that I think to myself, oh, that's going to be a good one. But really, they all are going to be.
At this level, there has not been a bad race, in my opinion. Everyone is playing at such a high level right now. Every race has just been so enjoyable to see. You know, we have almost 13 days worth of races out on YouTube. I wish I could, not work for 2 weeks and watch them all, but...
Or even better, work at a job that allows you just to watch it. That'd be nice.
Oh, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? As moonblazewolf is walking right into this Aromas fight.
Going to encounter this 5-eyed, 2-mouthed monstrosity and hopefully kick its butt.
Here we go. We got moonblazewolf getting the crystal out. Gonna get that Excal and Excalibur combination going. Gonna be reflecting nukes off Iridia, it looks like. And Sid will be getting in on the action too.
Very nice. A nice 2 Zerker hybrid strat going on.
Yeah, hard to blame him. Sid is wielding a rune axe. That is his best weapon that he can equip. So it's going to be not doing as much as that Excal Cecil, but still will be able to do some work.
And it's nice for him to pitch in and not just be a floor mat or a chemist. Nuke on Cecil, not the worst.
There's the first shake, there's the Avenger, and Cecil is just going to start swinging. Yeah, with Moonblaze's levels, I don't see this going too terribly for him. Rosa's got 2,700 health. Cecil's got 3,500. Even a high roll Big Bang will be laughed at.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's particularly worried about shoring up that Rydia, which means the next Big Bang will take her out, but by then he'll just use Sid and Cecil as a 2-man wrecking crew and have Rosa on to heal.
And as our restreamer pointed out earlier, this is only the second week. We have so much more free enterprise to come to you over the next week and a half.
Yeah, so if you're saying, "Oh, I want more free enterprise," stop whining. It's coming.
And maybe you've watched some races, thought, I'd like to get this, give this a try myself. Make sure you check out the Free Enterprise Discord. It has everything that you would need to be rolling your own seeds. Has a ton of people who can answer any question you would have, get you going, answer, and maybe you'll be finding yourself in the next tournament.
And it is the free enterprise community on the Discord. It's the best community on the internet. It's so helpful. Everybody just wants to see everybody have fun and succeed and play around with this game that we love so much.
Yeah, and I was, I guess maybe I cursed Blue Blaze a little bit, saying that a high roll Big Bang may not be something that took that Rydia down.
This time, Rydia stays up. Gonna try and get her reflecting again.
Perfectly timed Starveil there. Yeah, I need to replay Dragon Quest IV. It's been a while.
I've never played it. Is it good?
I enjoyed it. Not as much as Final Fantasy IV, of course, but still enjoyed it.
You can. There's lots of room in your heart for all kinds of games. No need to compare. Now, that having been said, I will say the Dragon Quest IV randomizer isn't as good as the Final Fantasy IV randomizer.
And we do have some rocks.
moonblazewolf nearing the end. Can see the finish line from here. Going to Zerk that Rydia.
Need to get
And
the
that
Tella
Rosa.
up.
Need a quint Zerk. And there's the flash. moonblazewolf kicks that butt and finishes in second place. And we are joined by MGG moonblazewolf.
Thank you.
GG's.
Thanks.
How are you feeling about that seed?
I have a lot of things I would like to say about that seed, but it kind of doesn't matter at this point. But yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions in that race.
I don't necessarily think they were bad decisions. It just rando's gonna rando with the information he had. They were good decisions.
I mean, to backtrack, I made one really bad decision, and that was not going to get Cecil when I had the Avenger. And then I think every other decision I made after that was a consequence of that decision, which, just kind of thinking through in my head logically, knowing that it was a lunar boss, gating the underground, Avenger Cecil really helps in basically all of those situations. So I'm pretty sure that was just a mistake on my part, and I had enough time once the rest of my party was down except for Sid, and Sid was swinging away on the Pale Dim to go take a bathroom break before the fight was over. So yeah, that's about, that's probably some time lost there.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing for Sylverfyre was looting Eblin Castle and finding a crystal sword.
Okay, so that's twice in 3 seeds that there's been an early crystal sword that my opponent found and I didn't find. So yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Like, their luck I don't want to say luck because Sylla's a good friend. Sylla's a really knowledgeable, awesome runner, and I know that they probably made a lot of really good plays and deserve to win. But yeah, not having the Avenger Cecil, Crystal Sword or no for that Fabul Gauntlet and then for that Pale Dim cost me tons of time, I'm sure.
So
Go
going
ahead, Sheep.
forward, Blaze, do you think you're going to take more risks, try to play your way back into this, or do you think your fundamentals are good, you're just going to stick with that?
I mean, I feel like in this race, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a lot of edge cases, I would say, in this tournament because I got pretty unlucky in my first race with the aforementioned Crystal Sword. Other than that, it was pretty even, neck and neck. Second race was a total jet seed. And then this one, I think it really just kind of boiled down to that Cecil decision, no matter how else you dice it. But then both required items to finish the seed being in tower, which I faded until the very end, was also just like that usually doesn't happen. And so yeah, it's fine. Seeing Baigen at the top there was not going to be particularly fun, so that was the decision that I made, and I just have to kind of live with that. But yeah, it just feels like I'm catching a lot of bad luck right now for sure.
Well, you do still have 3 matches left. We were discussing as you were walking to Zeromus. 3 of 3 could probably still get you into the top 16. I feel like, just based on the records we do have out there. You do so with your final 3 matches. How do you feel about those with the opponents you have left?
I mean, I feel like I can beat anybody, and if I play well, so, and get a little bit lucky myself. So I'm certainly not going to count myself out until I have that 4th loss. And I've had really good opponents here on out. I'm sure my last 3 opponents are also just going to be really good. So I don't really, everybody's good in this league. Everybody's playing so well. Everybody's had a lot of time to practice and prepare, and it's just been an interesting experience this time around. And I really hope that we get a lot of fresh faces in that top 16 and some people that maybe aren't expected making deep runs and making a name for themselves this year.
Well, that's certainly what you've done in the past, and I know you're going to be a threat to do so until you're mathematically gone. So, yeah, just a couple of tough breaks in this one, but GG's. And Bad Karma, you have anything else for moonblazewolf?
I don't. I still look forward to seeing anytime I can catch you racing, though. You've always been an excellent runner, so I do look forward to seeing the rest of your matches if I can.
Thanks, and I hope everybody enjoyed the Giant. If that was a divergence from what Syl did as well, I'm not sure, but I probably wouldn't have done that otherwise. But yeah, I just hope everybody had a good time. Everybody had a drink at the end of the seed for me, so I was having fun with it. I always like to have fun, and even if I get knocked out in my next match, which is on Thursday, I'm still going to have fun and play out my matches and just do the best I can. So thanks, everybody.
We also appreciated the quad zerk at the end. Best of luck the rest of the way, moonblazewolf.
Yeah, thanks.
GG's. And that's all we have for Free Enterprise tonight. It sounds like we will be raiding over to Invenerable, who is doing some table seed practices.
Yep, always good to say hi to Invenerable. So once again, thank you to Alicel, our restreamer, our tracker Ground Flyer, and thank you to you, Bad Karma. It was a lot of fun as always.
And thank you, Sheep Launcher, as well. And thank you to everybody who's out there watching. Please, as we go over to Invent Stream, make sure we keep the spoilers of the race to a 0 so that others who are watching can catch the bot. And we will see you all next time.
So